So Defender, earlier when you said, like, when you were asking me, are we live anywhere? I said we should be live everywhere, only to realize that I was not live on YouTube. It's not necessarily a bug, but a source of frustration that I tend to have with YouTube specifically is that sometimes I'll hit go live and it just don't go. And it's just very irritating. Because, you know, I think everybody can have a similar expectation of, if you hit the go live button, you have the expectation that the system will set you to live. And I don't think that's a crazy expectation to have. But unfortunately, sometimes I'm not offered that luxury. Whew. We're almost to level 6 though. I can probably foresee us doing this for like another hour and a half. Which means that I have to be creative and stuff. And be an entertainer, you know? But lucky for me, it's generally just practice of just being able to learn how to kind of talk on my feet a little bit. So I'm going to circle back a little bit to the privacy thing that I was kind of talking about before. And just some of the other things that I've been just kind of learning as we go along. So just kind of on a very surface level type thing, what I've just kind of learned is that people heavily recommend that if you want to have generally a more private phone or mobile experience, that they actually heavily recommend the Pixel line of phones, because the fact that you can install custom ROMs on like Android devices, and graphene specifically, the device is specifically trying to be utilized for privacy. It was very nice. It was nice to actually be able to say, because my preferred keyboard to use, just as a brief example, was the Gboard, like Google's keyboard. But one thing I learned very quickly, that keyboard has network access, so it could like keep track of the things that you type, which to me is kind of wild. Because why do you want to care about the things that I type so bad? And I mean, I get it. It's just to make the personalized ads kind of work. Because even when I ended up reinstalling my phone back to its original operating system, which, just for all intents and purposes, they call it stock. So whenever I reinstalled my phone back to stock, I realized how much Google was like, you want to do this? You want to do that? How about this? And that? And it was driving me crazy. It was kind of like a little gross to some degree. 8 fish ain't half bad. Even though these were little cheapies. I eventually want to get like some of these higher tiered rods, but we'll get there. I think I may proceed the day soon enough, because even though it's nighttime and we get a little bit of a discount, we can save some yen, right? Kind of unfortunately doesn't change the fact that depending on the weather, we might be able to actually get some rarer fish, you know? All right, I'll say don't grab the bait right this second. I'm trying to check one small thing. Okay. But yeah, so one of the other things that I was kind of looking into though, with regards to the whole privacy shenanigans thing, is transitioning my email over to like a bit of newer it's like a new service, because Gmail unfortunately does scan everything that you send and receive. And mind you, there's a bit of an argument to be had that if that were the case and I'm emailing somebody who has a Gmail, right? That wouldn't that ultimately mean that my stuff might get just scanned again? And I think that's a fair argument to have and to ask about. And unfortunately, I don't. I'm pretty sure that that is likely the case, which blows. There's no way to really confirm nor deny it. At least not easily, from the brief amount of from the amount of research that I was doing for a couple of days. But I've been trying to learn a lot about the different privacy vendors, because a lot of people will recommend that you go with either Proton or Tuta. Those are the two main ones that I see recommended the most if you're trying to really drive home that whole zero knowledge, where the company doesn't even know what you sent, like what emails you sent. They just know that you sent an email. Or like encrypting your emails and everything like that. Because ultimately, if you're actively emailing somebody with a Gmail, it's not gonna be. There's no point. Both sides have to have the like encryption standards, or the general standards, in order to even run with the encryption options kind of like in the first place, which is fine. And that's totally understandable. Service A and Service B are matching so you can do the fun thing. But the other purpose that I have for wanting to switch email services is that I have two. One is the idea of being able to use a custom domain. Just from a bit of a creative standpoint, I think that that's really fun and something cool that you can do. And mind you, and it's got me thinking about like, okay, what would I want? Some of my what would I want an email of mine to kind of say in a bit of the long term? So I always thought that aspect of it was cool. There's also email aliasing, which I find very fascinating, where basically I can type like Sennheiser shopping at gmail.com. We'll just use Gmail just to kind of keep the examples a little simple. And pretty much that'll the aliasing allows you to kind of keep your main email private, but still have stuff go to your main email. So if I did like Sennheiser shopping, Sennheiser banking, and all that stuff. I can have it sent to those specific emails and then have my inbox filter based off of which email like A, B, C, D, or D were sent to. And y'all don't know how much of a headache that will like save me, because right now I have a lot of different emails where I check a lot of the different services and all the stuff like that, and I would like to consolidate everything. So that's the other real reason why I'm trying to sit down and try to figure out this a more private email service. All right, we're not at a point yet where I need to seriously worry about like bait and stuff. So I think I'm gonna buy the gold ticket. And then part of me wants to switch it to daytime to see if we're gonna get a unique fish. All right, we're gonna lure out this small game plan. We're gonna see if we can lure out the small fish first. Because if you heard him correctly, he said the bait's for both medium and small fish. And I would like to reiterate that that is regardless of the rarity. I see the prawn over there off to the right. I'm gonna give it another like 10 seconds over here, and then we'll probably aim for that. But yeah, there's a whole lot of other things you can do to kind of improve your personal security. And I know a lot of people probably have conceded to the fact that, you know, Big Tech Corporation A has my info. Not much I can do about it now. And to me, I don't know. I guess I've partially have always felt like you can still always do something. And when it comes to technology, I can tend to have the patience to sit and set things up and troubleshoot and all these other little nicks and doodads, because at least for me, if the result means that ultimately I can live a more convenient life, when it comes to technology, at least I don't mind kind of sitting through the hurdles to make random task A, B, or C more manageable. And so that kind of ties in a little bit to some of the stuff that I was kind of dealing with off to the side regarding kind of my own personal health and nutrition. One of the larger things that's been kind of going on was that as a part of one of my major like New Year's resolutions, I wanted to get more comfortable around like looking at the numbers of like foods or just like my own personal numbers, like my weight, and even to some like other farther out extent, such like my view counts and stuff. I wanted to get more comfortable looking at the numbers and understanding like, okay, maybe something needs to change, but don't like let that ruin what you've got going like on mentally. And so I've been learning how to do that. I've been mostly focusing on like food and understanding like things like calorie count and all that. But I realized that I still need to kind of figure out systems to where I can finally start tracking that. So, my partner, they're already kind of in the midst of their own personal health journey, and they had made a spreadsheet to help them and assist them with more strictly checking their like calorie counts on like foods and stuff. And you know, they passed it along to me and gave it to me as a resource to use for myself. However, when it came to just the actual task of doing the actual counting, I just didn't like it. And mind you, part of that's probably my innate, or at least my programmed brain having an aversion to the numbers, like I was mentioning. But there's only but there was just kind of a lot of general like friction for me, you know, sitting down, getting all the foods that I did for the day, and writing all that stuff down, blah 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 blah. And so what that had made me realize is that I needed to start simpler. So in my case, I needed to get to the point where I was just comfortable writing down my food, the food that I ate all the time. And I've been slowly starting to be better about that. The day-to-day kind of isn't perfect right now, but we found a way for me to comfortably want to write down the foods that I eat on a day-to-day. Because one of the things that I was having trouble with, at least on a very like, you know, somewhat surface level, right? Was that I hated whenever I had to like log on my phone, go into like Google Drive, for example, because what ended up happening was I would go into Google. I would have to go into Google Drive. I had to make sure that I was on the correct account because, like I mentioned before, I had multiple Gmail accounts for different reasons, mind you. It wasn't that I didn't, you know, well, I have one for like this channel. I have one for my professional life, and so on and so forth. You guys can kind of get the idea. And so, and we got to level 6. Okay. But I hope you guys can kind of get the general idea of like what I mean when I say friction. Where all of a sudden there are a lot more steps than what I initially signed up for. And I'm just not a big fan of that. So there was most definitely a point where I had just realized that I was over it. And I had needed to figure out exactly like, okay, what can I do to make it so that I would be much more willing to try to get to a point where I'm fine with this. So it looks like I've gotten all the other major items. Okay, good. All right. Oh, right, I forgot I needed to redo the guild mission. Wait, what was that banner? Wait, we have a chord rerun? Wait, that's annoying. Why do we have a chord rerun and go? Sorry, I wasn't. See, the problem is that A1 chord is tempting, but I don't remember what her awareness one is offhand. Because if you guys see my resources, I have more than enough. Like, there's not even a question. But is A1 chord or even R1 chord worth breaking some of my things for? Because A1, so yeah. A1 would allow me to start increasing the crit rate of a lot of these attackers. God. A6 chord is crazy. But I'm interested by the refinement. Oh, I see. That's why people always say to do the kind of the R1 first. Or not do the R1 first, but why the R1 itself is very coveted. Because since the amount of it, you can kind of get away with doing whole new rotations. Got it. Okay, let's break up the pacing a little bit with a little bit of combat. So you guys can kind of see, since we were able to beat every room with an extra, with the last 4 willpower left to spare, we actually got a lot of the Mindscape materials. So you guys can see with Chord we're all done. I believe we're all done with the twins for the time being as well. Oh, almost. We need to get the rest of their materials from the Sea of Stone. So next one up is Futaba. Because she'll just be a very strong, debatably broken Navi for the foreseeable future. I think that they're the only person who I really want to invest in for right now. But yes, so like I said, we're just trying to break it up with a little bit of combat. So you guys can kind of see that I basically got the highest rank. So I cleared all of these with just one battle. So, for those of you guys who are watching the stream primarily for like watching me play the game, I'm just gonna briefly showcase like which teams I've used where, because I think that there is some value in that. So, for example, this one, Assassin Allies final damage is increased by 60%. So I figured, hey, let's bring one of my lower leveled assassins because the damage boost should help them remain at least slightly competent. Bring a slightly weaker sustain, a slightly weaker buffer, and a Navi that I don't really need their offensive capabilities. Next was the similar challenge, but for sweepers. You guys can see Tomiyama was my choice. I used Motoha as the sweeper, Riddle as the buffer, and Lufo as the sustain. I unfortunately don't know how many of all these different runs that I have on stream. And it wouldn't be an adequate comparison to do them now because some of these guys were like level 70. when I even attempted some of these. But the whole point of this was to get as far as I can within the 4 uses while trying to keep a lot of my stronger units available for other things. Every unit gets 4 uses, but they gain a use every week. So they only start off with 1, and then they gain a use every week. So for this one, allies from the Phantom Thieves of Hearts deal bonus damage. So I decided to bring 2 Phantom Thieves of Hearts here, which was On and Morgana. Just used Phoebe because we had 2 fire elementals going in. I used Key as On does do bonus damage to burning targets. So there's that. And then this one was basically specially made for Joker. And for these purple or red ones, I would advise not feeling bad if you have to burn more important characters earlier, because it is more important, I think, to get the clear in the one round or the one attempt of an encounter, rather than sitting in and then burning multiple attempts on it. Both are valid ways. It just depends on how patient or impatient you are. We're gonna start off with the leftmost path. Like I said, this one, the extra turn is very much so specifically catered to Joker. And also, you don't have to respect the gimmicks of these stages. They are just there to kind of give you advice on what exactly can help you clear. So the next part is that the highlight gauge feels slower, but your highlights effectively do double damage. So I forget if we were fighting 1 or 2 things here. I think we were fighting just a single target, so using an assassin made the most sense here. So I opted to just use Frostgale Cotone for this, and just really tried to make it happen. Next, for each elemental ailment afflicted, the amount of damage that they took kind of increased, and if they had 4 types sitting on them, then they took 40% more damage. That is just asking for a Makoto or a nuclear team, or at least like Makoto or Vino, depending on which who you have. I have Makoto and Vino, so we see how this went. And then lastly, we have when allies other than Wonder deal almighty damage with skills or 1 more attacks, but the party's final damage is increased by 60% for 2 turns. So this was just asking for the twins, because the twins right now, I believe, are our only major source of one more or almighty attacks. So that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of point out and kind of bring to your guys' attention. So I ended up just using them, and then I don't think that was an easy fight, but it was definitely better. Going up to the middle path now, fire, ice, wind, and electric. Final damage was increased. I ended up actually using the ice version of Frostgale Mop here. The Navigator's Choice, I just kind of used who's available, knowing that I want to save like Futaba for other missions, for some of the harder ones. Next, Psychokinesis, Nuclear, Bless, and Curse. I just used my Bless team with Phoebe and really tried to pump a lot of power into Tropical Modaha. And then this last one, each time an ally deals damage to a foe, that ally's damage is increased by 4% and stacks up to 15 times. Not entirely. I think like maybe a lot of follow-up attackers likely are good with this one, as well as just any enemy that hits multiple times. Makoto actually hits a fair enough amount of times, and I opted to go for a bit of a rush down strategy. Note, this was a one that I did retry in a later week to free up some other units. Just so you guys know. Okay, so this one is when an ally besides Wonder does not deal damage for one turn, their final damage increases by 50%. Ryuji is basically stuck on like God's Fist or whatever 24/7 effectively. So this was one catered to him. This was a DPS Wonder stage. So pretty much I just brought a whole bunch of buffers to buff Wonder, and Wonder beat the stage. And then this was one of the this is probably the hardest one out of all of them. This Lord Stella. When the party has 2, 3, or 4 allies of the same attribute, all allies' final damage is increased by 20, 40, or 60% respectively. So, and this is also including Wonder's persona. A lot of people use Haru with this if you did have Summer Tomoko. I unfortunately did not. I don't have Summer Moko. So what I opted to do was I used the sweeper variation of the twins to try to just kind of rush them down and take out both at the same time. Which worked out pretty well, I would say. So those are all my teams, and like you probably saw for each one of them, I only did I did it with one attempt. But we have a week until the next set comes out, which did I forget something in here? Sorry, it's making me seem like it's just making me feel like I forgot something. And we're not resetting this. I'm not doing all that a second time. All right, so next thing kind of on our agenda for our little fishing break. We have some guild battles to do. We have a whole bunch of certs and I believe a whole bunch of pyrojacks. So this is unfortunately like a very AoE heavy guild boss. So we have to get a little bit creative with this. And then the other boss is this guy. I see. So I think for this guild battle, I think I'm gonna opt for Sweeper Twins. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Whoever took their time to max out Morgana and it is a Morgana fanboy, honestly, I love that for them. Yeah, because almost a full like R6 and everything. That is wild. And I mean it's kind of cool though, right? So in this case, we don't really have an AoE ice DPS to really try to take advantage of here. So you're just gonna kind of go with one of my like tried and trues. Let's see. It didn't mention if they had Soul Link or not, so I kind of am operating under the assumption that they do not. Let's see. I think Marion's probably gonna be fine enough. Okay, I'm all tired of using the mouse and the controller for this. Okay. And I don't think we can get an all-out attack for the guild boss. So do I want to use Futaba here? I think it's fine if I do. Nah, I'm gonna use Rico then. So since we are using a DPS variation of the twins, bringing in someone like Sandalphon is, I would say, a solid enough choice just because it does increase the damage of their skill 3. But realistically, we are just going to be using probably Dionysus and our own cert. You can make the argument that I should probably just bring Vishnu. Just because I can use Margarudine. And it's about, let's see. So 35 plus 13, so that's like 48-ish. This would push it up to 56. And then from there, 63. So 63% chance to hit everyone, all bodies. Well, actually, wait, no, the thing's weak to wind, huh? So that might be good. So yeah, this will be our team for the guild battle. I do want to put like a degree in care for this, because right now I'm in a pretty casual, friendly guild, I would say. So yeah, this run, we are going to be focusing a lot more on just kind of general setup. So the twins are going to be, I would say, fairly strong, but we are not trying to launch a nuke right now. So this is the first turn, so I think I'm gonna use the snowman one, I think. Yeah, damage isn't too bad yet. And no one's really weak to anything fully here yet, so we're sitting pretty, I would say. Okay. So we know that the twins are about to hit with their kind of like more burstier attack here. I'm just trying to remember. No, this is Rico's first time acting. So all right. So what we're going to do is that we're going to use Compassionate Cure on the twins. This will also give them a massive damage buff. And also just be very nice for this. So yeah. This is the part where we use Margarudine. We're going to try to get Windswept on as many things as we could. And we are going to wait a turn, I think, before we try to really get involved with the twins, like ultimate abilities and everything. We're still doing like okay damage, so I'm not really panicking all that much. Yeah, because you could still see that they hurt quite like easily. The whole goal of this is just to survive. So yeah, this is the part where we really want to actually use the petals on the twins. And then, unfortunately, I know that will heal Wonder, because it targets both people with like low amounts of HP. And so in order to maintain like a degree of the temple that I kind of initially established, I'm gonna go ahead and ult with the twins a little bit earlier than I would like, but that's fine. Because now we're going to use Catchy Hook here. And now the twins have gotten like a reasonable amount of buffs going, especially like buffs of their own. So you guys can already very quickly tell how much like strength they got out of this. So unfortunately, this is going to be the last of the twins' like second bursty move. One person can probably argue that I probably could have had a much more efficient turn with Cord. Because if I did the 2-turn, if I did 2-turn ulti there, I think that would have been good. Yeah, all around, I don't think I was really playing as optimally as I could have been. Okay. So what we're gonna do, instead of trying to finish the job right now with the burst, I think I'm gonna be better off setting up for a very powerful final turn. Okay. So this is probably the part where we actually use Cord's ultimate, which is gonna raise up everybody's stats by 50.1. Their defense is already down, so we can use the petals on the twins. So we are going to use Healing Grace, make sure that we target the twins here just to kind of give... We are just trying to give as much power to the twins right now as we can. He has 2 crit things going on. Four out of the 5, that's not bad. So yeah, I'm better off using the 2-turn. Just as like a for the record, I'm better off using the 2-turn like ulti thing. I forgot. Nope. Nope. I messed this up. Well, kind of messed this up. I didn't mess this up too terribly. Because the twins' ult is back up. There are some modes where 0 means 0, like no more. And there are other times where it means what it means. So because yeah, once we're up at ×2, that's when we can like really let them have it. We'll use Revolution, try to really lock in on that critical strike chance. See, if only the twins had like an innate, like they have the innate AoE attack, sure. But yeah, you guys can probably quite easily see how much optimization there's like left to this on my end. Is this enough to definitely like win the challenge? Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, because for all intents and purposes, I was one of the first people in my companion to complete this. Got Harmony, Meditation, and Meditation. No. I guess I can probably use the Companion coins to try to fish for something better. Wisdom. That one's not bad. Well, Wisdom and Oppression would have been fantastic if I had Mesa. Wisdom and Virtue. Interesting. Oh. Sweet. And on enough optimized runs, I'm number 54. Okay. This one screams just standard, so debuff with Ryuji? So yeah, you guys can see that I do need a Guardian or a Medic. Shun would be probably fantastic for this specific battle. We also know that we want to likely use Ryuji here. And then our star player right now with him. We'll just use Futaba here. So, to pair with Ryuji, we can run with probably Jiko Kuten. And while I'm thinking, I'll be right back. All right, my apologies for kind of disappearing like that. But there was some tacos waiting for me, and y'all know how I am about food. So yeah, Jiko Kuten is likely probably gonna be the best pair to do with Ryuji. So that's probably gonna be my buffer, my first buffer of choice. Next, I'll probably bring Janosik. Just because fantastic Rakunda bot. And then I already used Dionysus for the twins. So I could do some. The thing is that, unfortunately, Ryuji has a bit of a, has guaranteed crits. So I'm better off buffing his damage more often than not. It's just that him being a 2-turn style unit makes it really weird to figure out what personas actually work with him the best. So that's part of the reason why I'm like trying to think right now. Some people just kind of still suggest I bring Komu Kuten. I think it's either him or Dominion. I think Dominion might be a touch better. All right, you guys see the team. Let's do it. So the thing that I want to check, right, before we really get jump into this, I was trying to see if okay. I think we're okay. Never mind. So I think I do Rebellion here, actually, then. And Ryuji's probably the one that I actually want to use Justice Barrier first on. Mostly because we actually want to try to kind of like reduce his HP. And of course you attack Ryuji first. That's not very cash money of you. I think I'm gonna take the defense down debuff first. This thing has so many sources of defense down, it's unreal.
650,000 is not bad. The problem is that Futaba was really good in like a 6-turn rotation. So if I do Rebellion now, I can likely do Cohesion next turn. And then another Raccoon. So that's what I'm gonna do. Do I want Wondersoul or do I want Leon's? I'm actually not sure. I think I'll save Wonders for the final, like, set. Ryuji's still alive. That's all that matters. We'll do Vuln Found. Ragunda should last for one more turn. So I'm gonna use Cohesion here. Alright, Icy Defense to keep us safe enough. Yeah, 821,000, not bad. Yeah, there's optimization to be done on like both ends of the spectrum, right? So I'm gonna try out the data link established. Okay. So Futaba's not as good as I would have liked for this, but that's okay. You're gonna be better off waiting a turn. Yep. I'm gonna do Cohesion here, actually. Actually, this is the last attack, so I'll just do another smash hit. Not as impressive, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm not particularly worried. My companion isn't trying to like place super high. So I can improve on that another time. There's also a bug fix that I need to do later, but we're gonna go back to fishing. So I gotta believe Ford's rerunning right now. What do some of these other 5-star weapons do even? I like building wide, so not gonna chase refinements until I get everybody's 5-star weapon. Okay, there we go. Both Navi's 5 stars. Let me see what I forget. Do I have A1 Marion? I do. I'm trying to figure out what our other awarenesses are. So more healing. Okay, got it. Oh, and her A6 is a revive. That's actually not bad. People who had her for a while were living good. See, I unfortunately don't know everybody's awarenesses, so that's why I'm always curious. Oh, she gets her panic shield in this. Oh, your A6 is crazy. It's crazy that like the more modern you get with some of these units, the crazier their stuff seems. But I think that makes it fun a little bit. Ooh. Interesting. Thank you, Haru. I don't know if I want to finish your Mindscape tree right now, though. Phoebe, I was a little bit more willing to, given the circumstances. I'll keep working on you later, Queen. What am I forgetting? Besides fishing. Got it. So for the most part, I'm just gonna burn the rest of my point thingies while I'm in while I run to the restroom. So gonna let auto battle do its thing. All right, we're back, and now that I've stopped procrastinating just a touch, I'm just gonna use one of these to kind of get our gems back up to a reasonable amount. Now, I think I've told people before, I honestly don't like farming that mission specifically, especially burning coffee. But and a lot of it's just because people can see the, like, it's debatable the value of me upgrading a lot of these characters' gear as a little bit, can be seen as a little pointless. And I can understand that. Oh, I did get another copy of this. Sweet. Who has a 5-star weapon? Leon does. Yeah, getting the full outer ring eventually for a lot of these characters is probably gonna be pretty helpful. Alrighty. Back to the real meat of the street. The real reason we're all here. Fish. Are you guys excited for fish? It's been a little minute. So what are they meaning by this? Sorry, I got sidetracked. Oh, and Cord also gives them a free little extra sorry, no. Oh, I have to actually play. Oh, you hate to see it. God, I remember when I was so ready for this unit.
All right. Trying to get out of this one ASAP, but I don't know if you're gonna have as nice of a luxury. I think the correct play was actually to buff Wonder there, now thinking about it. Wait, what? Lufa, what's your gun again? Oh, it's like a little bamboo pipe. Little do these monsters know the demon they're about to unveil. Just gonna soften them up just a touch. You know what? Let's use Wind's debuff. Let's add in the ultimate insult to injury. Because yes, I would love to be that extra. All right. I mostly just wanted her extra rewards and for the new to stop appearing. So the daytime activities don't seem particularly engaging to me. Okay, so I still have 1 minute left on that task, so I'll wait it out. All right. So let's head back over to the fishing area. Unfortunately, the day looks fantastic outside for the game, so all right, let's see. We're back to this. Now the question is, can I get to level 7 fishing, unlock the expert pond before the end of stream today? Let's find out. I was about to say, I got my controller over here. And don't mind me accidentally forgetting how to play the game mode for a second. So I'll be real. I don't notice a significant difference between super mashing with the super mashing with the controller or just cozy mashing, if that makes sense. Because I feel like I've just been, very generally speaking, I've just been cozy mashing. And I don't know if you guys can understand what I mean when I say that, where I'm spamming the X button for this. But it's more so with a little bit more finesse is not the right word, but I said it's cozy, right? It's literally just that I'm mashing X within reason. I'm not trying to break any world records. But it's also because I don't need to break any world records. I'm literally just reeling in fish and going about my day. A couple of these fish over here are very small, so I'm hoping they can grab one of the prawn. I was gonna say, I hope that was prawn and not like an eel, but it's crazy that sometimes you get the max rarity thing. Oh, come on, you noticed that bait. You weren't the one who I wanted to notice, but I will take you. I think it's apparent enough, though, unfortunately, that the prawn unfortunately aren't worth all that much, despite the rarity, which makes me a little sad. All right, let's do it more above and in front. So I think my general rule of thumb, I think I'm going to start following for doing this sometimes, is that I'm probably going to give it like 15 seconds or so. And if they ain't budging, gonna try another fish for about 15 seconds. I think that's a good estimate of just how much time like I want to comfortably give them. And then after the 15 seconds, if I'm not seeing like any sort of bite or any sort of progress, then I'm just gonna call it good. Because I think it might be better to just give these fish the time to think about it, because that aspect of it is what's been working for me. And I think I'm going to use this as an opportunity to leave. I think it's just going to be slightly more efficient long term. Because getting 1,100 points, I probably still don't need to like reshop or anything. So I'm actually going to use the different fishing rod, I think. So just an FYI, nobody has really recorded any known difference between a lot of the different quality fishing rods. But having the extra life, especially probably for some of the rarer fish down the line, that's probably going to be a good idea. Because yeah. Unfortunately, like my fingers normally aren't ready to kind of mash on the D-pad, because the D-pad's mostly controlled by like my left hand, and the reaction time just is not there. And honestly, you guys think that after fishing here enough times that I would have gotten to like get some really nice fish here, but there's probably some qualities that are probably trapped in the lower rank pools, which is fine, I guess. Okay, I put it in between like 4 of you. It looks like 3 of you actually. And none of you want it? I hate it here. All right, fine. I'm gonna put it more in front of like these two. Oh, okay, I'm offended. See, you saw that one run? Actually, I think maybe waiting until Lufo comments is probably a better... it's probably just generally a better indicator. I thought the song was from Final Fantasy XIV at first. And then I realized that no, because I thought it was give it all at first. No, I got it back. I got it back. No. You get over here. You almost caused me to break my line. You want to know what people get for breaking my line? You get caught. There's actually like a non-zero chance that I may end up upgrading my my proficiency here if I catch enough fish. I know this is also a probably pretty valid option with regard to pretty valid option when it comes to like actually getting like fish ingredients. Come on. You're like licking the bait. You know what? Your best friend was like, fine, if you're not gonna take it, I am. So I guess, you know, just similarly good solution. So 180 is about the halfway point that we're trying to kind of reach out for. Okay, maybe you're just a little dude. Maybe you like a little small one. You turned in. I swear if you don't pick up this bait, you turned and you were like, oh. Oh my God. You know, it's kind of funny how locked in and concentrated I get as soon as the fish takes the bait. Okay. I think the other one is ready to be caught now. So I am going to switch over to medium. You know, I said ready to be caught. So I think that advice from Luful is just supposed to be like, it's not close enough to the fish. Please. Please. Take the bite. Come on, the bite good. Come on, please. The bite looks so good. All right, so yeah, we're kind of at a bit of a point where it might slowly become better to just get out and get back in. Because regardless of the rarity of the fish, it might be a more effective use of my time to just kind of reset and repeat. So let's see. I'm just gonna pick up like just a couple of each. It's not we're strangely enough not in like any weird position right now with regard to type of bait being used or anything like that. And with the more fish in the pool too, it also is a little bit, even just from an entertaining standpoint, I think that having like restarting the thing after like there's one or two left feels a little bit better. Dang, those two fish were ready to fight for it. One of them's schmoovin'. I'd say that we're getting like pretty good. Value's not the right word, but the right idea. So I've been using the D-pad this whole time, and I just swapped over to the control stick. Yeah, I think I realized I was playing life on hard mode for a second there. It's always weird to find those fish that do like the auto fail effectively. I don't know. I'm not fast enough on my fingers. Or on my left hand side of fingers, I guess. Come on now. You know I want you. Crazy work that the other fish was like, oh, I want some of that. So I think the fish off to our left over there, by the way, probably wants a small bait. Keeping a nice and even distribution of our baits is going to likely keep us from doing anything crazy. Okay. Let's see if Luful says I just need a better bait. It's very possible. Yeah, I love that it just recommends, like, have you tried just sticking the bait in his jaw? It's literally pushing it. Sir, you're literally pushing the bait. It is literally in front of your face. I'm about to beat this fish up. I'm about to jump into this pond myself and be like, you know how with Larry the Lobster, when he was supposed to like resuscitate the poor guy, and instead of resuscitating him, he like punched the ever living daylights out of him. That was about to be me to that fish. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. We'll do a small in this like bundle of fish. Can't believe I still dedicated like 3 hours of my day to fishing. Well, I guess it wasn't a full 3 hours. Just no, this is Final Fantasy 14 because this is the one, like the last tier of Eden, I think. Actually, oh, I see. This song was originally an FF8, but then got reused, which I am perfectly fine with. I just don't remember the song very well from 8, so that's why I didn't catch it. Also, I've learned the hard way, you never, even if you skip the cutscenes, never do all 12 parts of a raid in one day. Never do it. I never had felt such fatigue after doing 12 parts of a raid in one day. And mind you, 12 parts is the entire raid series. That fish was diabolical. And only 5 points. You're a stinky fish. Okay? You're stinky. Alright, I'll take your advice. I'll wait a little bit longer. Nope, he was offended. You wanna know what I do to fish that are offended? I throw the bait right in their face. Cause you think I'm gonna forget about you, huh? You little fish in the center. Think I'm gonna forget? No. Still no bites? Well, you got no girls, Bluefool. I'm sorry. I'm liking the voice lines, but like I'm confused. You know what, Mr. Loner Fish. Hold on. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you actually work for your bait. Here you go. Now you just need to walk over and take it. Eat it. It's your lovely dinner. Listen. None of y'all get on this. I swear to all that is holy in this universe. I'll give it one more set of attempts. It's the audacity to turn around mid bait in front of them. All right, Lufo, I just want you to know he's mean. I wonder how people were doing with like the maxing out fishing like day one. Diabolical work, by the way, because they must have had the patience of the gods. Is this chemical play? What a remix. This regular fish almost tripped me up. That prawn was ready. The prawn had set its sights on like me and was like, this is my mission now. All right, we're almost breaking 300. Really? All right, fine. I'm gonna be toxic. Yeah, you can't resist this bait, huh? Yeah, I'm using my super bait. Oh wow, even you're resisting its temptations, huh? Oh, I see you. I see off on the right. These fish are offending me. This is perfectly good bait, y'all. Okay, like I was supposed to say, I nestled it right in between. Actually, these might be small fish. Come on, come on. Go, go, go. Okay. I'm giving up on this batch. Okay, much better. Really? No one? Lots of Final Fantasy remixes. So, I don't know about you guys, but whenever it comes to like focusing in on these mini games, right? Do you guys ever like focus on the scene at hand while you're doing the mini games, or do you focus a lot more on like you guys see, like for me, I'm well, in examples that for me, I just focus on the bar. I don't know why it's easier for me to just focus that way, but once my eyes are on that bar, they are not letting go until the game basically communicates to me that I've done the task required of me. Okay. So of all these fish happen to be like a much rarer varieties, which I don't think any of them are. Full disclosure. We could technically finish leveling up in this batch. The odds and likelihood of that, though, aren't great. Let's see. Look both ways. Pull this down. These are all medium fish, like, visually to me. But I also understand that sometimes you just take the L. And we still keep getting above 10. Some of these cheaper fish don't deserve to be putting up as much of a fight as they do. All right, about 3 more max, but probably just 2 more. Maybe 1 more if we actually get a pretty nice variety. Oh my god. I can go into the master pond. All right, before we head into the master pond, let's get ourselves our coin. So now we're gonna start getting larges moving forward. Every time we buy like a pass from the shop. But now each run is 1400 yen. So, you know, a bit of a give and take here. So let's see some of these new fish varieties. I don't... We could spend like the last 30 minutes like messing around in here. Kind of debating what I want to do. Ooh, golden trout is new. I'm generally feeling like obviously we are going to get a whole bunch of new fish here, right? And then we can start really like using the tokens for some of these other like different rarities and all that stuff. And we'd actually like really farm this out a little bit. Because of how many tokens, like this is actually isn't like horridly inefficient. But you can kind of see now that the expectation is now that we are really like fishing here for a minute. And that's okay. Rome wasn't built in a day. Almost got it.
Yeah, and some of these larger fish also, by the way, are giving away good, the points are decent. I'm just happy that I'm in the master pond now. Even though I'm anticipating that this is going to be a better, like, now moving forward, I'm just going to start probably just fishing at night primarily. If I don't have like a lot of bonding effectively to do. But yeah, you can kind of see quite quickly how much this can like pile and stack up. We just need to get the other gold ticket and then we're kind of like set to go. But now we know, now y'all know the real reason why I was doing all that. All right, let's do that first. Then this second, we'll do a refresh. And third. Sometimes playing the long haul is worth it, as the people might say. But yeah, I want to get my fishing proficiency to 7. So we are doing okay with that. We still need to get rank 15 with 2 accomplices, which it's kind of surprising that I haven't like hit that yet. But not world ending in the slightest. I know for this game specifically, there's still a lot of it for me to go. Does anyone else also find it kind of crazy that some of these 4 stars are actually still not in the game yet, by the way? Like, as part of like social links and experiences. Why has Tycoon been yelling at me? Oh, because I got the June stuff. So, do I have any goals that I need to accomplish? I have to play as Lufel? Okay. This day is giving very side quest. So the thing that kind of sucks about Tycoon at the moment is that there's not as many people actively trying to play this. Please. Please. They don't want, come on. please. I'm sad. All right, we'll just do solo mode and then normally for me, I've gotten to the point where I just let autoplay kind of take the wheel. I like playing this, but not that much. This. This is gonna be a little spooky. Oh, come on. This is the one part I hate about Tycoon. Watch me have it like an 8. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna play my queen. There we go. I just wanted to become the Tycoon just to finish the weekly. I was scared. All right, round 1. That was not it. That was not too bad. I'll give away my 7. 7 and my 10. Oh, this is a juicy hand. I'll play the 2 kings. He said, F that noise. Uh, 6-6. I can do the 2 9s. All right, gonna try to get rid of my jack and king and stuff. Do I want to burn my joker here? I think I do. Because I can do double A. I think I play Wonder here. Okay, there we go. This isn't too bad. Easy round 2 win. Okay. So from here, I'm gonna give him my 4 and my 6. Triple 5 is kind of gross. We'll do 7/7 to Joker. Gonna hold on to my 8s. I think I want to try to get rid of some of these higher value cards. Come on, play a single, play a single. 2 3s. I can technically play 2 10s here. Okay, so the turn's gonna head back kind of into my favor here. So what I can do is play an 8. I think I'll play the king here. I still have the Joker card in case somebody has something higher. I can play the ace here. And I got it in the bag. Now, granted, this is against AI, so I'm not like it's not that serious. Sad thing is that we have to wait for them to finish. Are they? Oh, because the queues were taking too long, Kel. That's all. And I was just trying to get like some of my weekly missions done, which were, one of them was just literally went around as a Luful. And I have some that are quite literally dedicated to just playing Tycoon in that mode. So I know I can probably get a lot of these invites out of the way. But the reality is, I mostly just want mats. All right. I will give... Whoops, I didn't mean to come back out to the real world. It's scary out here. Welcome on in, Luna. How are you doing? All right. Fingers crossed that I get to find a quick ranked queue lobby. All right, sweet. Let me... I'll use June. I didn't feel like being Luful. I felt real awkward being just a little owl guy. Okay. I'm setting the initial rules, so I'm gonna take care of these 3 3s. Five fives and a Joker. I'll pass. I don't think I want to burn my Wonder card this early. Singular 3, 5. Oh, that's annoying. I'm holding on to my wonder card for now just because I think I want... Yeah, I think I want to break it here. So, for the most part, I need to try to get rid of need to try to get rid of my lower cards. I'm gonna play it risky. If someone has 2-2s, then I'm not gonna win. He has a 2 and a joke. He had a 2 in the Joker. Homie had so many pairs. Was I the only one? Was I the only wonder card in the lobby? I really was the only wonder card in the lobby. That's so upsetting. So I definitely used mine early. That's fine though. We're in second place, which sucks 'cause I think I have to. Oh no, I don't have to. I love that I can give any card, so I can just give my worst. Him having a Joker was rough. Okay. That's fine. Oh, she had a wonder card. Okay. Oh. Okay, so now strong cards are backwards. Okay. So now the game kind of flipped. The fact that she played 4. Ew. Sorry, they're getting on my nerves. Well, that follows the rules for 8. I can... Oh no, why'd you reset it? Okay. So then I still have some high cards in this ladder. Ooh. Yeah, he had some pairs. Not out of the running yet, but the entire game is tied now. Begrudgingly, I have to give up my Joker because I was 4th. So last place starts. Six. Let's go for the 10. Because we have a lot of pairs here, so. Three of spades is stronger than the Where are these rules coming from? Why was the three of spades stronger than the Joker? I'm getting rid of my high tier singles, so that's not ideal. Come on, someone bust out a wonder card, please. He's thinking about it. Yep. Another revolution. Interesting. God, the revolution always turns this entire like mode on its head. Ooh. Can't work with that. Can't work with that. Unfortunately, I have 3 singles. Come on, I have a 4. That'll work. Unless he has a pair. That bankrupts her, but I lose because it's going to be his turn now. I had an 8! It's always such a feels bad when you can't use your 8. I got 3rd, so at least I'm not last. But because I got 3rd, I don't get any, Typhoon matches are long, so... Oh, that sucked. You guys can see, like... Oh, there's tickets behind this? We're at the play. Oh, so I do have to get the characters. That's unfortunate. But hey-ho, the more you know. Okay. So realistically, I don't really have too much time left today. So tomorrow is Thursday, which means that we're done with streams for the week. On Monday, we should be starting Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy 7. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be an interesting game. I've just never seen anything about it. So thank you guys also very much for watching tonight. Do appreciate it. If you guys had, came in and said hi. If you guys came and gave likes, subscriptions, all that, thank you. But I'll see you guys all in the next one. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week and a fantastic night.